You're listening to It's Not a Show with Tara DeFrancisco and Rance Rizzuto. They're usually performers, but today they're just pals. And it's not a show.
Oh, you sound just like it.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi, everybody. Happy episode 8.
Yeah, happy episode 8, everyone. Oh, man. We are so glad to be here with you yet again.
Here we are, gathered as fronds to discuss the most important topics there are with our fun fans and friends.
Hey, Tara, before we get too far into things, is there anything you want to tell the people about fun things you've been doing lately in the past day or so?
Oh, I mustn't. I am now a candle maker. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I've taken up, during this time, I think we've had a little time to expand upon our dreams, and I may have ordered all the things in the world that make candles, the things. I may have ordered and crafted and curated some unique, lovely scents. I may have thought up the greatest idea for candles that I've never seen before, and I hope that I'm right. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
But if it works, everyone, you're on the ground floor, okay? You can you can invest in this great new candle venture that I'm doing as a fun little side hustle, side craft. The company is called Alchemy and Fortune.
Ooh.
And it's a little Etsy shop. It'll be fun. I'll tell you more when we get there, but we're testing the candles today.
Yeah, this is just the start. This is the start of a journey.
Yeah. But I think they're going to be really cool. There's 2 different versions of these things, and I can't say more about it until we make sure everything works. But yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I think it'll be fun. I think it's a fun little project. I've been doing so much work during this strange time we're in, and so is Rance. We've been working quite a bit, leading classes and lectures and just sort of strange and unique and fun virtual gigs.
Yeah.
But since our performance life is I don't want to say limited, but it is limited, but it's definitely different.
Definitely different. We really hit a craft window. And
yeah.
Tara started with her candles, and from the first 2 candles that she made, it looked like very successful. And
they're great.
And I believe, as we might have discussed in a prior episode, I've got some stuff to do epoxy, and my success was a little bit on the learning side of things.
Don't you dare say that about yourself. We haven't even seen the result of it yet. Number one, he just poured his first epoxy today.
I just looked at it, and it's basically I rushed things, and you have to, if you want certain things to be in epoxy at certain places, you pour it, you let it sit, you let it harden, and then you pour a little bit more. I rushed it, and everything that I put in there floated to the top, which is, oddly enough, the bottom of the actual piece.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have like a little garbage pyramid as a piece of art.
Oh, everyone gather around the garbage pyramid and just set your intentions. Mm-hmm. Look, when people go to meditate, they need a garbage pyramid to put their ugly stuff into. Everyone talks about putting their good intentions into like epoxy pyramids or like sitting with meditation and getting all the good in you. But what if you need to get the garbage out? Maybe this is what your pyramids are for.
Yeah. What if you just need like something to make you feel better about your life, because you can just by looking at it know that your life is better than the thing you're looking at.
Oh, yes. That's what our art is for. You know what's fun? Here's something that Rance is doing that I think is unfair to himself. So I'm sort of giving him a wagging finger in the old camera here as we're recording this.
Wagging the finger.
Ooh, sit down, Rance. Because here's the funny thing about Rance, that if you don't know Rance personally, you wouldn't know this, but Rance is earnestly good at almost everything he touches. Like, he has a skill that if he sits down and he's like, you know what I might try? Welding. All of a sudden, he'll like weld the most beautiful thing. Or if he's like, you know what I think I could do? I might make a forge and just Did I say it wrong? I might make
No,
a
you said it right.
okay. I might make a forge and just see if I can. I don't know, like figure out this how to make rings, and then all of a sudden he does it. Like basically, if it's an old skill, an old timey skill,
Yeah.
Vance is great at it to the point that it's strange, almost like he's from a different time, where it's like, oh yeah, I work at the mill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
you
is like,
that.
thank you for that. We talked about this in depth in another episode, so I don't want to go too far back down that road. But thank you for being very supportive of my craft-like endeavors.
Yeah, I'm all for it, except for Rance knows there's one thing off limits in the house, and he can't have any giant stabbers.
No stabbers.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what a stabber would mean. Like, I don't necessarily want a bunch of daggers hanging on our wall in our house. And I'm not that person that's like, "Oh, hon, get your toys out of here in your man cave." I hate it, even faking this person that I'm
Yeah.
playing. But I do think that having swords on a wall mm, is an aesthetic that I don't love.
Yeah,
How's that? How's that?
that's fair.
Judgment.
And I've only done blacksmithing twice, and I don't have the means just quite yet to do it myself at home. But I've made two things, and just one of them's a stabber. So already out of the top two things, one of them. But it was part of a class, and that was what everyone was making. So it wasn't like I could be like, "Can I make this a spatula instead?"
Yes, could you make a giant stabbing spatula for us instead? Next time.
Next time.
But yeah, we're sort of taking a little time. Typically, I'll tell you what, this is a fortunate thing, but as performers, we were working like 60 to 80-hour weeks prior to March. So now when we're like, we're working about 40 hours and we have time to take a thing called a walk.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. It's been an interesting time. For that reason alone, I think that we've just sort of seen the world on its side in a unique way during this time of what else is out there for us. Even though things aren't awesome right now, it's been a time to sort of reevaluate how we spend our time, which is something cool, I think.
Yeah.
I hope lots of people are getting that opportunity.
I know our dogs love it. They are not quite sure what to do with us. Our dog. We have two dogs, Clark and Addison, and Clark is just like been wagging his tail way more.
Look, Clark is the sweetest little support dog in the whole entire world, and prior to shelter in place, could not wag. He just did not know how to work that thing. It looked like a puppet stringed sort of marionette tail that if he did it, it was just sort of like, yeah, like wagging in the wrong direction, or he'd every now and then show us affection that way, but he often just kind of gives you like a loving look and doesn't know what to do with his tail. And during this time, the past couple months, he's been wagging like a champ, and I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just like, why are you two not on the road touring? I guess I'll give that a wag. He's figured it out. He's cracked the code.
Cracking that code.
It's pretty cute. So I know everyone out there is just doing their best, and I hope you're fighting the good fight for lots of things right now that are necessary of our time, necessary of our energy and time, and things we should be doing that are awesome. But I hope you're also getting a little self-care time if you can muster it, even an hour or something a week, just to kind of take a minute with yourself, because I guess Rance and I are learning that we like old-timey crafts.
Yeah. And if you're taking a moment or two for yourself right now and you're choosing to do it with us, hey, thanks a lot. We're getting this podcast going. It's we're getting to the point where more and more people are enjoying it, and we're having fun with that. And we might even have, I don't know, people might even start advertising on this thing. One might even show up right here.
Woo!
But maybe not. Who knows?
Additionally, we might have guests on every now and then coming in to argue their point on a debatable. Hey, if you haven't listened and you're jumping in right now, why? Why are you jumping on in this episode?
Go to the start.
But I'm happy you're here. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that you're like, I guess I'll do 8. However, we might have some guest stars on soon from all over the world doing improvisation and comedy stuff themselves often, or like old guest stars from our life that we love and adore, and they're going to jump in to do a debatable or two. What's a debatable, you say?
Hey, Tara, what's a debatable?
Debatable is a topic or hypothetical that Rant and I have received, submitted to our site. By the way, it's notashow.com. If you submit there and turn in a debatable from our friends or fans across the world, we'll try to wrestle it out and figure out how we feel about it or where we stand on the debatable.
We sure will. Tara's got a huge stack of debatables, and back in debatable. And so far, the way it's been working is I don't know what they are, and she does, and I'm hoping to change that at some point, just because it's like, man, you've submitted a lot of them, and that's a lot of things to keep tally of. So flip that script some point. But as it stands, Tara's got enough for the, I don't know, first 100 episodes. So
yeah, but let's keep them rolling. We're cracking these things out, and it's fun to talk. So why not? And you know what? It's a fun way to hear from fans of the podcast. So thank you.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing, all that stuff. We'll talk about that probably at the end again. If we don't, it's happening now. Thank you for subscribing. We're in the top 50 podcasts and comedy and improv in the US of A and the UK. So thank you so much for listening if you're in those places. And if you're from somewhere else, hey, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for submitting. Let's get to the debatables. Do you think it's time?
Let's get to the debatables.
Hey, dog.
Let's hit up question number 1.
Woo! Question number one, Rants. Debatable number 1 comes to us from Kelly Jennings.
Oh.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Kelly poses this thing. Cats. Are they gods or aliens?
Cats, are they gods or aliens? Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if those are the only two choices.
That's all you get. I mean, we obviously know that they are, surprise, cats.
Right.
But additionally, I think we know the spirit of this debatable, which is cats are weird. And for some reason, if we're going to go after the energy that cats possessed, is it godlike energy or is it alien-like energy?
Well, here's a hot spoiler. I think they're both. I think that like, if we're talking about gods, that I feel like, you know, I've watched enough Ancient Aliens, and I feel like, you know, if there's all these connections to gods that people saw, especially like cat makes me think of like Egyptian. It's like, you know, maybe it was just aliens that were coming down and had higher technology, and everyone was like, whoa, check out that. And it's like, where are they? I guess they're gods. Oh, you mean like people with spaceships? Yeah. I think it's one and the same. I think it's up in space right now. There's a ship, and it's just being manned, or actually, it's being catted because it's being run by cats. It's all aliens, but they have powers past our technology, so they are godlike in nature.
I don't know that you can. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think that what your answer leans is alien, because you're sort of making aliens akin to a godlike energy.
Yes.
But you're saying they're from another time?
They're from a different planet altogether. If they're from a different time, they'd be traveling back.
Thanks for filling in the blank.
And they also have, like, you know, cats have limited immortality. They have 9 lives.
Limited immortality. They are immortal 8 additional times.
For a certain amount of times.
I understand. Okay, cool. So you say both? You think you're gonna cop out and you're gonna say both on a question?
I'm saying they're alien, but I'm saying that with like a lot of the mythos of beliefs and legends and lore, that there's some possibilities that those people with powers that were considered gods aren't people at all. They're just visitors from other planets.
Okay. They're otherworld to you.
Yes.
Great.
Plus, like, think of the way that they meow, you know?
Can you go on about that?
Nope, that's all I got.
Next question.
Meow.
Oh, why? What does that mean? What does the meowing have to do with the alien part?
It doesn't have anything to do with it. But
it should try to make it like that.
Well, I do know that, like, it's all a con. Like, there's this famous video I've seen It's a con. They're like they know that meow is like what we like to hear. But I've seen the video of a cat in a window taunting a dog. It's in the window going, "Hoo, hoo, hoo," and the person that's filming it is like kind of sneaking up, and it turns and looks at the person, and as it turns and looks at the person, it goes, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, meow, meow," and it
I
switches
have
back to meow, like oh crap, we're not supposed to let the creatures of this planet know
time
that we know how
out.
to mimic.
Okay, time out. Number one, I've seen this video. It is impressive. It's funny to watch. The dog or the cat is clearly barking at a dog as a cat and then turns into a cat when it's been caught by its human viewer, which is very, very funny and perplexing. Agreed. However, it's a con. The con language that you're using is such a funny way to say, like the cat has a long con on tricking us that a meow is how they communicate. I don't think it's a hustler. I think this one cat got caught and it was doing an unusual thing like a parakeet or not a parakeet, a macaw could imitate a human's voice. Maybe this cat had perfected how to mess with its vocal cords, but I don't know if it's a
No,
long con for all cats.
it is because they like
Oh,
all cats do that, and the way just the guilt and shame that this was on this cat's face as it was like, oh, we're not supposed to let humans know that we can do more than just standard cat sounds.
no
It's
way.
like
I don't think it
it's
was guilt or shame. I think that cat was like, "Oh, sure." It wasn't I don't think it felt guilty. I think it was super nervous that it was walked up on. I don't think there was any shame attached. I
well,
think it was like red-handed.
okay, yeah, that's same. Maybe guilt and shame isn't it, but it's definitely like it was busted, and it knew it was going to
Busted.
have to. It was going to have to answer to the feline elite that are running a almost Masonic temple like Illuminati, but just for cats. And they've been pulling it off for years and years. And this one cat, like now that technology's here, these cats are starting to blow it, you know. And
I this this is the this is the kind of debatable yeah, deep diving that I like to do with you. And
Mhm.
I think you're right. To some degree, I understand the energy here. I do think everyone should quickly Google this cat that's been red pawed barking at another dog because it's very funny and it's very like it
Yeah.
really mess with your brain. It's super weird. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like when the cats are around each other, they can make whatever sounds they want. But if they're around other species, then it's like, oh, don't let them know. It's like I saw some video early on. I don't remember who it was. I remember it was a woman, and it was in like it was some it was a woman in the Republican Party, and was speaking at an event. And as she was at the podium speaking, she threw a Heil hand, and then like quickly retracted it as if she forgot. Oh, I'm not or just around the people that this is okay with. I'm in public, and that's what that cat was like. I'm like,
I don't.
oh,
This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. I think the woman you're speaking about was the woman from Extra, meaning the TV show Extra, that flashed a white power sign, the OK sign, at a podium when she was speaking at their like a Republican Trump convention. She did this on camera and then like kind of sat there for a second and was like, like she forgot kind of that it could have been intentional, but she just definitely threw a white power sign when she did not think other people besides the people that would agree with her would be watching. Is that the one you're talking about or something
I
else?
don't think so. I think it's as I described it. It was way more than the white power sign, and
Oof.
yeah, and like totally busted. And just like the cat, she probably knew that she was going to have to speak to the elite of
Time
her
out.
Illuminati.
They're getting a really bad rap here in a way that I mean I don't know if they have the equivalency of what your story holds. I know that's not what you're trying to say, but you're
Hmm.
saying the caughtness of it was the same level. The red pawedness of it was
Hmm.
the same level.
It makes me also think of squid, like giant squid, how the big ones that live super deep who are we're just barely getting caught on camera. but there's been scientific work where they would put a tracker on a squid
Hmm.
and be like, where does it go? And the other squid would destroy the squid with the tracker. It's like the squid would know something's up with this one. You can't be you're toast. And I feel like more so than cats, squid are aliens.
I think, okay, but that's not the question. This is, I think we went off on some tracks here, which is fine. That's the point of the show, I suppose. However, if we have to talk about squid, yeah, squid are aliens. Octopi are aliens.
Yes.
100%. 100% vote. Don't even turn to that debatable fans because the answer is 100% alien. I feel bad when I see like an octopus get killed because I think I know
Yeah.
people like to eat octopus and stuff. I don't eat seafood anyway, but I when I see that happen, I feel bad for them because they're so smart, and it makes me feel like, oh no, like I think we just killed something from a different planet. They're so like
Yeah.
so wily and strange, and they know how to like operate things and um like unscrew jars and live in certain spots that we can't get to, and just really really cool weird stuff. Use tools. They know how to
Yeah.
use tools.
I came up on some squid when I was snorkeling once, and there were about 11 of them, and they were all side by side in a row, evenly spaced, like a foot apart from each other, from largest to smallest, like all facing me.
They were in a lineup?
They were all in a lineup. But I was like swimming, looking at fish, and I saw, what is this? And then I went, and they were all from largest to smallest, a foot apart, side by side in a line. And I was like, it was insane. It was like nothing I'd ever seen about squid behavior or expected of squid behavior.
The usual suspects.
Yeah, usual suspects.
The usual squid specs.
Yes, the usual squid specs. So anyway, are cats gods and felines? I think, are cats gods or felines? Definitely felines.
Oh, one box is checked. They are felines.
There we go,
Make
okay.
them over.
Are cats gods or aliens? I think they're more like aliens, just like I think squids are aliens. Squids have ink. Ink is in pens. So what's my preference? I prefer ink pens to pencils. What was the question?
Oh. Can I give my answer now?
Oh, yeah.
Gods. Next question.
Why do you think gods?
I think gods because it might be the like pharaoh association that I have with them.
Yeah.
Basically like the Egyptian sort of energy, which again ties into your alien. I mean, there's some interesting overlap here, which I understand why you've answered the way you have, because I think when we look at things like old societies or buried worlds sort of stuff, Rance occasionally watches Ancient Aliens, like he mentioned here, and it was. I'll tell you this. At first, it was a gag. Like when Rance started watching it, he was like, "Look at this guy. He can't get enough of talking about these theories," and we had a great time watching the guy with high hair. I sorry I don't know your name.
Yeah, I still can't. I can never remember it.
I don't know, but he's such a joy, and he's always like, "Oh man, there's stuff everywhere. The societies, man." He's like that kind of energy, and we watched it as a goof because it was fun to watch and think about things, and then Rand started leaning in real hard to the old Ancient Aliens and kind of going down the conspiracy well, mostly again for fun or leisure. But it's just funny to think that maybe it's sort of stuck because I do think some things that are interesting about that show are the societies that have been lost to time or have transformed over time, you know, like the Atlantises, or what else would you name here? Like
Mayans
Mayans, Pompeii, like cities that have
disappeared.
yeah, disappeared, disintegrated, whatever. And I think that, you know, Egyptians and pharaohs' tombs and things like that that have been studied for so long and have only fractions of things known about how they were designed or etc. I feel like cats are really closely tied to that to me, whether they were more prevalent or not. They're certainly in the lore of that time. So I
Yeah.
think I tend to tie them to like pharaoh, king-like, god-like, you know, depending on what your affiliation with the pharaoh is. Of like, if you think of Ra as a, you know, a god, or pharaohs as a person that's touched by or picked by a god, I tend to like couple cats with that. There's something like strange about them
Yeah.
that feels mystic. So I think maybe that might be my answer, is that they feel sort of mystic, so I make them godlike in my head. They're real pissy little gods.
Oh, they're pissy little gods.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, but I think that's why. I don't know if I'd say alien,
you,
although anything with like an eye like that, I always am like, where'd you come from?
yeah.
Like goats. Goats have that sort of diamond sliver eye that I always am curious about.
They've got that like hourglass pupil.
Oh yeah, the hourglass people.
Yeah.
Not the yeah, not Sauron, but like hourglass.
No, you're thinking of snakes.
Yeah, I am thinking of snakes. I'm thinking about snakes, Rance. Snakes, I don't know either. All these, it's interesting that every animal we're bringing up has like this weird quotient to it. You know, I don't think dogs are aliens. Does that make sense? There's something more
Yeah.
human about their faces that feel more grounded in our in our place. But when you think about like cats, snakes, goats, octopi, squid,
Hmm.
or anything else like this, I'm trying to think of another unusual thing. A lot of things, like you said, in like deep ocean, probably. They all feel like sort of alien or godlike.
Yeah. I think that like we're doing a pretty good job at sussing out this planet, but I feel like there's a lot of theories that are probably I've read. I can't name any, but I know I've read of things like people used to think this, but it's not. It's this. It's been proven that it's this. Whatever. There's been so many archaeologists and scientists that have like come up with ways to describe things that they've discovered that later get disproven. Like
Hmm.
even that where our heart is where people thought like the brain was before
Oh yeah,
really digging in and learning about anatomy.
we got a lot to learn.
Got a lot to learn.
Got a lot to learn out there, everybody. Got a lot to learn. I feel like Rance and I, even though we're fairly playful, are fairly intellectual humans. And I'll tell you what, I do like thinking about this stuff, even if it's on a silly level. It is, I am not sure. I mean, I think that I'll tell you what, I think the spirit of this debatable was posed to us because people are giant fans of cats and they want to think, I mean, I would assume that Kelly Jennings, who turned this debatable in, is a major fan of a cat. Lots of people love cats. You know, we could get a debatable that's like cats or dogs. Classic,
Classic.
classic, y'all. Classic. My Chicago accent came out. Like
Classic.
classic debate. However, I do think there is a strange quality to cats, and I think maybe people think, oh, they must be gods or aliens because I love them.
I think that cats, whether they are or are not, cats think they're gods.
I agree.
Like they're like, oh, you want this tchotchke on this fireplace mantle? I'm a god. I say no.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the answer we give is, do cats think they're gods or do cats think they're aliens? And the answer is definitely cats think they're gods for me.
Yeah.
And maybe their fans also find them to be gods, but I understand why Rance would say alien too because of the way they behave
Yeah.
or seem to be. Okay. I feel satisfied with that answer.
Great. And I'm also defining essentially aliens as gods. So like we don't fully disagree, we don't fully agree.
There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just kind of agree.
Oh.
Cat.
Okay.
Okay. Debatable number 2.
Debatable number 2.
Rance, I struggle with this one because I don't know the answer to it, so I hang in there.
I'll let
okay?
you know.
Okay. I hope you do. I hope you have the answer.
Okay.
From Kara Pittman in Seabus, Ohio.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
I.O.
How does an island not just float away?
How does an island not just float away?
Yeah. I think let me tell you the context of what I believe the question to be, although I don't have any more information than you have.
Okay.
I think it's a how does land stay in one place?
Well, I mean, what do you think it is? I mean, you said you don't have an answer.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think that, like I remember watching Let's go minimal first.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like we've watched a couple things about how bridges get built. And that is sort of let's say it's a step to the island question, because when we watch bridges get built, there's a certain amount that there needs to be positioning in the Earth's crust. I
Hmm.
don't know, I don't know, land deep, where cement might be poured and then stationed so that you can fill it, and then you make a flat bridge on top of that. And I kind of struggle with bridge making because I don't understand how deep maybe a bridge's concrete or whatever the frame is, how
Yeah.
deep it could go and still be stable.
Interesting. And I struggle with bridge making because I don't understand how they can, while underwater, get a cement foundation to solidify to hold things in place.
Yes, I had the same question before I watched a little mini documentary about that, and I don't really. This is why I don't make bridges. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the only reason. Look, there's a there's a million reasons I should, and this is the only reason I don't. I don't know exactly why or how something hardens under the water. I think it's essentially what we would say on a small level is like a mold that's put into place, and then there's pouring at levels, kind of like the resin work you're doing now. It's like over time you build level to level.
Well, if it's like the resin work I'm doing now, this bridge is screwed.
Sorry, bridge. Bye bye. Yeah, so all I'm saying with this comparison, just to start us off, is I don't know how the bridge doesn't basically become unstable or float away, if
Sure.
that makes sense. So when it comes to land, and I'm not talking about Pangea or like how land masses floated apart. I think she's asking, once stationary or mostly stationary and only traveling blah blah yards a year, let's say from east or west or north or south, how does a island stay stationary?
Well, we've been talking about bridges. Imagine, if you will, that we didn't have to like make a mold and pour cement in or whatever, but if the mold just sort of came up out of the ground and made itself, that's pretty much what islands are. You've got the plate tectonics of the planet,
Hmm.
and breaks in the crust happen, and magma flows up and then cools and turns into stuff and goes
Hmm.
process by process, and underground volcanoes and what have you, that like Hawaii is a good example of islands that
Hmm.
while they seem like they're just out in the middle of the ocean, they're very well attached to a tectonic plate, as are all islands. It's not just like an island is a boat where it's like there's all these palm trees and the sand and stuff, and if you swim you can go all the way underneath and go all the way across as it
No,
floats.
it's not a pancake on the water, but I think
Yeah.
maybe she's asking about continental drift. Like when something shifts, does it ever break away from the thing that it came from? So if magma is, let's say there's eruptions under the water and this volcano forms into magma, then land. And then we have that. If there's a breakage of that magma or a breakage of the land, would it have more drift? Is there a possibility of drift if there's no connection to the thing it came from?
Well, I don't think there'd be a thing that would disconnect from the plate, the tectonic plate that it's on. Like we went to Iceland, and I remember one thing
Hell yeah.
that we learned about there. Although I don't think we learned it while we were there, I think we saw it on a special, like some travel special. There's a there's a place in the island where the island is split in half because it's
Hmm.
on two
Yeah.
separate plates, and there's this place where there's this sort of small canyon.
Hmm.
Those particular plates are spreading apart from each other at, I forget how much they said. It was like a centimeter a year or something like that. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to be over like 100 years. It's goes far distance. Whereas you get to like California, and all the earthquakes are caused there because two plates are going into each other. There's a
Yes.
fault line.
I understand what you're saying here, and I guess the fundamental question would be, so we would assume, from what we know and what we've seen and what we've learned, that every island is the top of an underwater mountain. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Like if I had to say it in a clear term,
Yes.
the tectonic plate underneath erupted, made this land, and what we're seeing of it is just like what we would see of an iceberg. There's only a certain amount we see above water, and there's much more below. Same kind of thing, but it's attached to the plate. Now, that being said, is there any way that the top of the mountain can separate from the bottom of the mountain?
I don't know that it can separate from the bottom of the mountain, but the bottom of the mountain can get screwed up and everything gets affected. Like probably
Yes.
what happened with Atlantis. The theories are some catastrophic event like an asteroid or something probably hit, ravaged some tectonic, and then it caused a crack on the tectonic plate, and maybe it shifted, maybe it went underwater. I mean, the theory is it's underwater.
Would the island then sink?
The island would sink, but not just the part above the water line. It's like everything would sink.
Everything would sink.
Or everything it could split in half like Iceland is, but then it's like, oh no, it moved a quarter of a centimeter. But there's probably some point where if two plates get far enough apart, the molten core of the planet could come out. That we're always floating around is kind of creepy.
Agreed. Yeah, totally. I mean, there's so much about Earth that's like delightfully, wonderfully creepy. I mean, when you think about why
Yeah.
the perfect storm of how it works is incredible. And when you think about, what do I want to say? I guess I'm leaning back to Pangea, right? Because that's like what people think about when they think of this continental drift that formed the globe as the way we know it. Well, the globe as it is, not the way we know it, because maps are always wrong. That being said, now that Pangea has split and caused these continents to be separate and islands to be formed, how did that? You're saying that's what made that happen too? Is tectonic plates?
Sort of splitting and floating away.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for why there's the amount of water there is, and why it's ice and why it's not. But it's like, if we were Pangea and we were this huge thing, was there always just water, or now does this go in between? It's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's causation of water movement, or if it's like the mantle of the earth, or if it's what made this thing fraction up. But I mean, that's not the question we got. Thank goodness we don't have to be Pangea experts.
Yeah.
I remember it from school a little bit, but I don't really necessarily know what the current take is on how it became the way it became, turning into two continents, I think it was. However, islands staying still is just because they're mountains from underground that poke up above the water.
Yeah, and if something happens to that entire mountain, then
The island goes away.
Then they go away. Like if you think of Mount St. Helens, or
I will
think about it,
will.
or Pompeii is probably a better example, because it was an extremely huge explosion. There's old plates and stuff that show what the mountain looked like, and it had a very tall, spiky peak, and that's gone. So if the island is volcanic and it erupts is on a level of Pompeii, or what's the Greece one, Santorini?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like Santorini is a good example. I almost want to look up the map, but I'm not going to. It's like this crescent shaped island, but it's basically one huge crater of a volcano, and all the town and everything is built on the remains of this volcano. So that was a big island where a lot of it disappeared when it erupted.
You know what's so strange? Number one, we've said Pompeii twice on this episode, which I don't think we've ever talked about that before. So funny that it came up regarding old worlds and aliens and cats, and it's coming up now in reference to islands. But also, just for fun, you know, what do you guys do for fun? We looked up the plagues last week, Rance and I did, when we were drinking our morning coffee, just because we were curious about what the causation of the plagues were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm talking like locusts and darkness and the river running blood and all
Yeah.
the biblical plagues.
Not bubonic plague.
No. The biblical plagues, and we were just curious about like what people thought the causation was for many of them. And there was a few scholars that said that the explosion of Santorini caused a number of the plagues back in biblical era, which was, what was it, Rance? It was like the explosion from Santorini caused the waters to have an algae that turned red.
Yeah, it changed the alkaline level of the water and made it,
Right.
maybe algae took over, made it red, but because the alkaline level was too high, all the frogs left.
The tadpoles turned into frogs quickly because stress causes tadpoles to evolve quickly to their adult state. So they think that the plague of frogs was because everything was hopping out of the water
Yeah.
quicker than it would have in a normal cycle of tadpoles. The oils that came from frogs were because of possibly frogs and basically like sea life infecting humans. So they had,
Was it from frogs?
I think that frogs were part of it because they were dying, and they were like dying in mass numbers because they were out of the water.
I thought you said it was from the larva, like something was growing in the water that wasn't there before, and the boils were basically little tiny larvae inside the flesh. Ugh.
Goo. Are you having a fun road trip? Are you having a good jog? Are you making some dinner? Have fun with this nightmare.
Have fun with this nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting that there's so many things that are caused by earthquakes or shifting of plates or sort of these mountains that have been caused by friction in a mantle.
Yeah.
Are affecting a lot of our answers today. That's funny.
Dang.
Well.
Well.
I didn't tie those two together. I did not see them having any through line, but fun that they did.
Yeah. Pompeii is super cool too. I was lucky enough to get to go there a couple times, and it's like that civilization ended in like 99 AD, and they had plumbing. It was basically they took a sheet of lead and bent it around and then pinched the end, but it was like there were pipes along the roadways that would carry water. The houses and tile work wherever, it was like all this civilization was pretty advanced for, in my mind, what 99 AD would be, and that's when it ended.
Woof.
Yeah.
Meow.
The cats did it. The cats had enough of the human shenanigans in Pompeii and
yes.
Herculaneum, and they were like, "You're both toast."
The cats did this.
Yeah.
They did this. When you look at your cat when you get home tonight, just know.
Yeah.
What have they done? What have they done?
Actually, I bet one cat in like Pompeii was like, "Hoof, hoof, oh, meow, meow, meow," and got caught. And the feline Illuminati leaders said, "You've ruined us. The only thing we can do now is take out the entire town with ash from a volcano." There, full circle.
Hope you had fun today. Happy episode 8, everybody. This is so fun to do. Thank you for listening. Hey, if you've subscribed to the podcast, thanks. If you're listening on your phone and you're just seeing what this whole thing's about, thanks. If you want to know more about Rance or myself, you can go to itsnotashow.com. You can listen straight from the website, or you can listen wherever you get your pods, like Apple or Stitcher or, I don't know, a billion of them at this point. Wherever you get your pods, you listen to it right there.
Yeah.
Additionally, hey, is there anything else to know, Rance, from us?
Hey, if you're enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, we'd appreciate you giving us a review and a rating on the old Apple iPod stuff. Give us a 5-star and a sweet review, and let people know how cool this is. We really appreciate everyone who's spread the word already.
Hey, and if you're a fan or friend and you want to turn in a debatable for us, and we'd love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. So itsnotashow.com, you can turn in your submission. Additionally, hey, if you're a listener and you just have some opinions on some of the past episodes, debatables that we've had, feel free to write in that same spot. You can just turn that into the website, and it'll be curated by our webmaster, who will then see where you stand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Bye.